What's going on, guys? Gels from Fitment Industries, and don't mind my more than usual nasaliness. I got a little bit of a head cold going on. We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna go on, but today I'm here to talk about none other than Tein Suspension, and we kind of realized that a couple weeks ago when I was picking out a set of coilovers for my FRS, and I'm like, I kind of want to go with Tein Suspension, so I hopped onto our website and loaded up the suspension category for my car and realized that there's about 5 or 6 options for Tein Suspension for my car, and realized quickly that I didn't know the difference between all of them. Kind of talked with Mario, kind of talked with Alex, and we're like, I don't think a lot of people know the difference between a lot of them, and we haven't done a video on it yet. So I'm here today to tell you all the differences between the Tein Suspension lineup. So you've heard us talk about Tein a lot before on this channel. That's because they offer a wide variety of suspension products ranging from anywhere from $400 up to $2,000 for a set of coilovers. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So the first option that Tein offers is the Street Basis Z. Now, with this lineup of coilover is their most affordable, most entry-level coilover that you can get from Tein, and it's offered right around $400 to $500, and that is simply because it requires the use of a lot of OEM parts from your vehicle. So when you buy this suspension, you have to reuse the top hat mounts and any mounts for your car. So however, unfortunately with these coilovers, because they're so affordable, because they're more of an entry-level setup, you only get height adjustment with these. So you don't get any damping adjustment, you have to reuse your OEM parts, and you only can really just adjust the ride height of your vehicle. However, you still get the performance aspect of it from being a Tein shock absorber and the Tein lowering spring inside of there, but just know that you don't get the full adjustability of a normal coilover. So moving on up from the Street Basis Z comes the Tein's Street Advanced Z. Now this is basically the same thing, still requires the use of OEM parts, but you get that ability to adjust damping. The Tein Street Advanced Z offers 16 levels of damping, so you get that little nice dial on top to really tune in the damping of your suspension, to kind of give you more of an adjustability to what you want, but still, again, not break the bank. And then up next, we get to what we mostly get asked about in the comments and emails, is what is the difference between the Flex A and the Flex Z? They're both $800 for a set, but what is the difference? They look the same, they're the same price, but why the different name? So first, let's go ahead and talk about the Flex A. So the Flex A comes from Tein's experience doing WRC and the WRC world. They took a lot of what they learned from that, their experience with that, and introduced it into this set of coilovers. So with that came the Hydro Bump Stopper, or the HBS. And basically what this is it's not a physical bump stop like you would see on most coilovers, but it's a hydro bump stop. So it's based internally to absorb impacts from the road, the gravel, from rally racing, whatever it may be. The main difference between the Flex A and the Flex Z is that the Flex A is more meant for people who want a comfortable ride in their set of coilovers versus someone who wants more of a track-based or a street-based coilover. That it's a little more of a nicer ride, it's not as harsh, but you get a lot more travel, and they are rebuildable. So what really separates the Flex A and the Flex Z lines from their Street Advanced and their Street Bases is, one, you don't have to use the OEM parts from your vehicle to mount them to your car. So they actually come with camber adjustable or pillow top mounts on the struts themselves, so you don't have to reuse any parts of your car. You get them, you take the old ones out, you put the new ones in, and you're good to go. So again, you get your 16-way damping adjustability with the click top damper on top, but the Flex A was specifically designed for people who are planning on putting these coilovers on a car that they plan on having passengers riding with them a lot of the times, usually one to two or more people, or plan on driving long distances with say a lot of gear in the back, but still want to have a lowered car, still look good, still perform good. The Flex A is gonna be the choice for you. And naturally, moving on to the Flex Z, which is what I went with for my FRS. Now this is, again, like I said, very similar to the Flex A. However, the Flex Z's are not rebuildable, and they're meant for street and racing use versus more than comfort. Now these are probably going to be like the most common coilovers that you will see out there that people are running from Tein, and that's simply because they are more of a street and track used setup. They offer a lot of adjustability. They're offered for a wide variety of vehicles, and they just work really good for the price that they're offered at. Like I said, $800 for the Flex A, Flex Z, depending on what you're looking for, you can't go wrong. And those aren't the only lines of coilovers that Tein offers. They have other options like their Monosport and their Pro Race series and their engine. It's just, they have a lot of suspension options, like I said, ranging from like $400 to like $2,200, even like $3,000 for a set of coilovers. And we can talk more about that. Let us know down in the comments below if you want us to talk about like the Monosports and like the Pro Race series. But we decided to do this video because these are the suspension options that we see a lot of people asking questions on, like what's the difference between the Basis and the Advanced, the Flex A, the Flex Z. So hopefully we answered some questions for you guys. If not, like I said, comment down below. We'll make sure to do a video on it, make sure to cover it to answer your guys' questions. We like helping you out as much as we can. And also don't forget that you can find any of these suspensions that we talked about today over at fitmentindustries.com. And while you're over there, don't be afraid to check out some wheels and some tires and some gear. We also have a giveaway with some COSMIS wheels going on right now for the month of January. You can pick up a COSMIS t-shirt. We'll put the link down below in the description for you to check out. And we're also doing as low as 0% financing for the month of January through Affirm. Again, check out all the details over at fitmentindustries.com. But I'm Giles from Fitment Industries, and we'll see you later. Peace.